The name is Mukesh Ambani, a name that screams luxury, power, and lots of wealth. Born on April 19, 1957, in Adin, Yemen, he was the first son of Dhirubhai Ambani, a visionary who founded Reliance Industries. His life is an extraordinary story of evolution, from being a middle-class boy growing up in a less-than-modest Mumbai apartment to becoming Asia's richest, and one of the wealthiest people in the entire world. But how did he get there? And was the journey easy, or was he a child of pure nepotism? Today, we are going to learn about Mukesh Ambani, one of the wealthiest men on Earth. Chapter 1. The Rags to Riches Story. Imagine building an empire nearly from scratch. That's what Dhirubhai Ambani, the father of Mukesh, did to lay the foundation for one of the largest conglomerates in India, Reliance Industries. Dhirubhai Ambani founded Reliance in 1966 with a textile manufacturing business. Although he dreamt of so much more, he believed in democratizing wealth and brought prosperity to millions of Indians. Watching his father, Mukesh had been learning early that success was more than just making money. It was about the opportunity and the amount of lives that could be changed. What would you have felt like if at the age of 24, you were given hold of a billion-dollar company? That's what Mukesh Ambani felt when he entered the business of his father in the year 1981. First big project he undertook was to revolutionize the textile industry through the launch of Vimal, a brand which rapidly became a household name. But this was just the beginning. It was when Mukesh stepped in that welcomed Reliance into the integration of new sectors at a speedy and quick pace. In the late 1980s, Reliance entered the field of petrochemicals and refining, and it started its base to form what would become an industrial giant. Mukesh led the building of the world's largest grassroots petroleum refinery at Jamnagar, Gujarat. Chapter 2. The Rise of Reliance Industries. Ever wondered what drives one man to take over dozens of large-scale industries all at once? Mukesh Ambani wasn't happy with just textiles. An entry into petrochemicals, refining, and oil and gas exploration by the company and its growth made Reliance Industries a powerhouse in the world markets. Revenues at Reliance skyrocketed under him, throwing the company into one of the largest ranks in the world. Mukesh Ambani's vision transformed Reliance from a textiles company into a diversified conglomerate with interests in petrochemicals, retail, telecommunications, etc. In fact, during the 1990s, he made Reliance a major player in the energy sector, much of which revolved around the Jamnagar refinery. But that would not be enough to fill Mukesh's appetite. Would you put everything all in one basket? Mukesh did. The launch of Reliance Jio in 2016 was a much-needed game-changer. It wasn't just a telecom company, it was a revolution. Free voice and dirt-cheap data were thrown in willy-nilly. And all of a sudden, Jio made such disruptive changes in the Indian telecom market that it was a do-or-die situation. Either adapt or there was the danger of crumbling. In just a few years, Jio was spread all over, and it became the largest firm in India and the third largest mobile network operator across the globe. Can you believe this? Reliance Jio was not just to grab market share. It was actually to transform India into a digitally empowered society. Jio brought digital services to every corner of the country, playing an important part in the bridging of the country's digital divide. Chapter 3. The House That Mukesh Built. Antilia. Imagine staying in a 27-story house that has 3 helipads, a ballroom, and a snow room in Mumbai. Yes, you heard it right, a snow room in Mumbai. Say hello to Antilia, the residence of Mukesh Ambani, one of the world's costliest private homes, valued at over $2 billion. The building rises out of South Mumbai, named after an imaginary island in the Atlantic Ocean, and is a direct reflection of the might of the Ambani family's wealth and influence like no other. The 400,000 square foot mansion has been designed to withstand earthquakes. Its architectural style is inspired by the lotus and the sun. Of course, who would not wish to live in a house where 600 staff attend to your every request? That is the exact reality the Ambani family lives in. Antilia is fitted with everything from more than one swimming pool right down to a private cinema that can sit 50. Other interesting features of the house are a health spa, yoga studio, ballroom, and even an ice cream parlor. Can you imagine the magnificence? But Antilia is more than an indulgence. It's a center for family activities where the Ambanis come together to celebrate their heritage and their success. Still, in spite of the luxury, Mukesh Ambani has always preached the values of humility and staying humble. Chapter 4. The Next Generation. Akash, Isha, and Anant Ambani. Imagine the pressure of being born into one of the wealthiest families in the world. Akash, Isha, and Anant Ambani are the heirs to Mukesh Ambani's business empire, each playing a very important role in the family business, although all have made their own name. The torch at Reliance Jio has now passed to Akash Ambani, who, holding the reins in his hands, is charting the course of the company moving forward. Would you believe? Under Akash, Jio has continued to top the pedal on innovation, consecutively adding more subscribers and taking a dominating stake in the Indian telecom market. Isha Ambani, one of the youngest female billionaires in the world. Can you imagine? After studying at Yale and Stanford, Isha returned to India and started taking up responsibilities in Reliance Jio and Reliance Retail. For some time now, she has been very active in shaping the retail strategy at Reliance Industries, including the JioMart platform, which is helping the group change the e-commerce game in India. Meanwhile, Anant Ambani, the youngest, is being groomed to start assuming the position of responsibility. At the same time, he is known for his philanthropic efforts and a keen interest in green energy. Thus, he is all set to assume the lead in Reliance's future commitments, especially in the renewable energy sector. We surely do wish the best for them all. Chapter 5. The Wedding of the Century. Isha Ambani's Wedding. Imagine if you would have the opportunity to throw a wedding and could invite your favorite celebrity. What would you do? You would do what happened at Isha Ambani's wedding back in December 2018, a fairy tale wedding. Held at the luxurious family residence in Mumbai and a palace in Udaipur, it easily would have been one of the most expensive and highly spoken about weddings ever globally. Can you believe this? Beyoncé performed at the pre-wedding celebrations. The Ambanis look like they have left no stone unturned as they went about flying in international stars, holding grand ceremonies, and lighting up the entire city of Udaipur. The reported wedding cost was over $100 million, a figure that is a dream to many. The marriage was a combination of tradition and modernity, having rooted ceremonies in Indian customs, but at the same time with showstoppers of performances and parties to equal the best of any global event. The wedding of Isha Ambani to Anand Piramal, the son of another billionaire industrialist, was not just between two people, but between two of India's most influential people. Chapter 6. The Grand Wedding of 2024. What less could be expected from the Ambani family than another grand wedding celebration? So, here comes the year 2024, and it's now time for Anant Ambani. His wedding with Radhika Merchant was again an example of the family showing their large fortune and power. Just imagine a wedding of the kind that puts royalty to shame. The celebration would take place at the most elite locations, and the guest list would consist of the most renowned people on earth. The dresses alone were to die for, specially crafted to give nothing but elite and royalty to the wearer. Can you imagine that? There were also traditional ceremonies that celebrated both the heritage of the couple and India's rich cultural history, billions of years in the making. Old and new, coming together in what could only be described as the most over-the-top but sincerely touching event ever. Much like Isha's wedding did, this firmly placed the Ambanis as the first family of Indian wealth and power. If that wasn't enough extravagance, here's more. The Ambanis pulled out all the stops by making sure some of the biggest names in world entertainment performed at the wedding. How would you react if you could get Justin Bieber, Rihanna, and Katy Perry to perform at your wedding? That's right. These superstars from across the globe struck up the stage and left the event looking like a concert rather than a wedding celebration. Can you fathom the star power? It went from popular songs by Justin Bieber to electrifying performances by Rihanna to high-energy numbers sung by Katy Perry. The stars made the wedding one to remember. And it wasn't just a performance. It was a once-in-a-lifetime event to keep all the guests, including the rest of the world, in a buzz. The wedding of Ambani merchant made the wedding from being a personal affair into a national spectacle, with media around the world reporting on it. With the attendance of international celebrities, political leaders, and business tycoons, this was an indication of an unmatched league of the Ambani family. A classic example of the luxury that is synonymous with the background of the Ambani lifestyle. Chapter 7. The Future of the Ambani Dynasty. What's in store for a family that has it all? As Mukesh Ambani continues to build his empire, the future indeed looks bright for the next generation. Akash, Isha, and Anant will be stepping into larger roles at Reliance Industries, bringing in fresh ideas into the business. Could you bear the responsibility of an entire empire? That's what the Ambani kids are expected to do. But with all of the mentoring from their parents, Mukesh and Nita Ambani, along with the determination on their own part, it would appear that they are ready for the challenge. The Ambani legacy is not restricted to mere money, but is marked by innovation, philanthropy, and an eye for making India a better place. Whether through Jio's digital revolution, Reliance's base of retail, or the giving nature of the family through the Reliance Foundation, the Ambanis are changing the way India will be an influential country in the future. Can one imagine what the next chapter would look and feel like? Whatever that would be, one sure fact is that the Ambanis would be at the head, redrafting the unknown with the same ambition, innovation, and exaggeration that have marked their journey so far. Conclusion: the legacy of Mukesh Ambani. What do you think? Could one imagine some years back that a boy coming from a very modest background would once build an empire worth $100 billion? The story of Mukesh Ambani speaks not about money, but about vision, hard work, and the relentless pursuit of excellence in building something that doesn't just last for a lifetime, but for generations. As Mukesh Ambani races his conglomerate, Reliance Industries, headlong into new and uncharted waters, the very making of the man's legacy has already been established. He did not only build one of the most powerful companies in the world, but he also empowered the next generation to take it even further. Outro. This is only the beginning. The story of Mukesh Ambani and his family does not end here. In fact, it has just begun. With the next generation beginning to step up, the Ambanis are set to continue their reign as one of the most influential families in the world, in much the same mix of tradition and innovation with that unmistakable touch of grandeur.